is, I want Brianna to play this and sing it. One second.
Praise it.
This song says, God sees what we don't. And I'm so thankful for that. You know, just like the song we just sung, when waves are over our head, they're under His feet. And, you know, in the day we live in, a lot of people want to try to bring God down to their level. They want to try to tell God how they want things done. But you know, I'm so thankful that I serve a God that's bigger than I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to serve a God that's on the same level I am, because that would be a tiny God.
Amen.
But my God's not tiny, my God's big.
Amen.
My God, when waves are over my head, they're under His feet. Because I've got a mighty strong God. And my God sees what I don't. You know, and it was on my mind this morning how, you know, when we went through all the things that we went through. And sometimes it's been really hard. But God knew, you know, God wasn't punishing us. He was just bringing us to a place where we needed to be. And you know, we've got to realize that in faith. And know that we've got to trust Him, because He sees what we don't. You know, all we could see was the heartache and the persecution and people against us, when actually He was bringing us to this wonderful place.
Amen.
You know, where we can worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. And I'm just so thankful He sees what we don't. He's bigger than I am. Praise God.
Amen. Bless the Lord.
There are times in this life when fear is so heavy and burdens weigh on your heart. You are weak in the knee and
About 13 years ago, my life changed. I was always been in the full-time ministry and pastoring churches, and then I wasn't, and I had to figure out what I was going to do in life. And I started working at the courthouse as security. And then about 10 years ago, I went to mandate school, in the academy. I never would have ever dreamed or thought that that was even in my mind, or thoughts of even doing something like that. And so here I was 50 years old in police academy school. I was the oldest person there. But there was something that happened that taught me something about loyalty that I never learned it nowhere else. We had an instructor by the name of Sergeant Petrie. He was gun-ho, out of the military. He was a ranger. This guy was tough, and he didn't hold back on nothing. I didn't think I would ever make it or do it. I didn't think I would have the ability or the strength or the knowledge or any of that to be able to go through the academy. And it got to the place to where I did not like this man. He didn't show me no favors. Here I was 50 years old, and I was having to do what the 30-year-old guys were doing. But there was something that happened. We were in Ebok down in Forsyth, and the motto was leave no one behind. Well, we all got down there and we were fixing to start our 3-week classes in Ebok and to do the driving. And we were all excited about getting in the Crown Vics and driving and doing the courses and, chasing folk and all that kind of stuff, And that's why you want to become a cop, so you can drive fast, right? Break the law. But anyway, we got down there, and the first thing we did, we jumped in the cars and we went out to the track, and we left one person. Well, he found out about it. We was already in 3 weeks of it. He found out about it. And so he was going to teach us a lesson. So what he did was he got an ammo box, one of them big, those green metal ammo boxes. And we didn't know what was in it, but he taped it up. It was heavy, and everybody was trying to guess what was in it. It kind of felt like just sand. And we had to carry that ammo box everywhere we went. Somebody had to have it in their possession. It became a person. We had to carry it to wherever we went to go eat. Somebody was assigned to it. They had to carry it home. They had to make sure they brought it back. He was teaching us something. I hated that can. It was bulky. All the other classes, the academy, were laughing at us. Ha! Look at y'all carrying a can. We carried that thing until the end. We made it through it. We were the top of the class. We passed all our EVOC, we passed all our firing range, we passed all the classes with flying colors. We got the mayor cone and EVOC, everything. I mean, we were the top class out of the academy. We had a presentation for this box. And he got up. Sergeant Petrie got up. And he said, I knew that y'all could do it.
Yeah.
He said, you don't know what's in this box. We all gave sand, whatever, rocks. We couldn't figure out about the box. We were proud that we didn't leave it behind. But he opened it up.
Yes.
And on top of the sand was a ranger patch that his mother pinned on him when he graduated ranger school. It was the most important thing that he ever received in honor. Was a ranger patch. And I thought right then, this man that didn't know us, but was our instructor, took the most precious thing that he ever received and put it in a box and made us carry it around and be responsible for the very most precious piece of garment that was ever issued to him. And right then, I thought, that was loyalty. You know, that's just some story that touched my heart. But I want to tell you a story about loyalty that will touch us all.
Yes.
In Deuteronomy, chapter number 7. And I'll take that story to the grave. And I'll take this one to heaven. In Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. If you don't shout, I am.
Amen. Lord.
Now I know he's talking to Israel, but I'm not going to pass all the promises and blessings to Israel. When in the New Testament, he engrafted us in.
Amen.
We received, that we inherited the same promise. We get the same thing as his chosen people. We are his chosen people. I'll give you a verse here in a little bit. And if that don't make you shout, I don't know what I mean. I will. Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, He is God,
Amen.
the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations,
Amen.
and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face.
Amen.
Son, he's going to fight my battles for me.
Amen.
He's going to take my enemy and make a laughing stock. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. Well, there's some stipulations in it. He gives a promise. He gives this covenant. He gives this place that where he is telling his people that he is going to be loyal.
That's right.
And we have the promise that what he said he's going to do, that he will do.
Amen.
If we do it. Here's the promise of the victory. Verse 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant of the mercy which he sworn unto my fathers, and he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. I believe it's happening, don't you?
Amen.
He will also bless the fruit of the womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn, thy wine, thy oil, the increase of thy kind. That's a cow. And the flocks of the sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. I just had a thought right here. Excuse me before we go into the farther. He was talking about sheep. Did he not say that we, as an example, that we are the sheep?
Yes.
He's the shepherd, and that we are the sheep.
Amen.
Do you know that a sheep is very innocent? They're very, I don't want to call us ignorant, but relating to it, they have to rely on somebody else. If they wander off, they don't have enough sense to get back. He gives us direction of who that we are. We're like sheep. We're like sheep led to the slaughter. But you know what? There's a difference there's a difference in a her and in him.
That's right. Yeah.
There's a difference in a sheep and a ram.
Amen.
A sheep you can trust. A ram you can't. If you scratch a ram's head, he begins to think that you are an enemy. You are invading his territory, and son, he'll headbutt you when you turn around or walk away. He'll butt you. I'm telling you what, I'm thanking God that we are preaching to a bunch of sheep and not a bunch of rams today.
Amen. That's right.
Well, I don't know where that came from, but I enjoyed that because I've been around a bunch of rams.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. Yes, sir. I'm talking about telling you, they'll shake your hand, you'll pat them on the head and turn around and bang, you're knocked over and they're on top of you. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about law enforcement, I'm talking about in church.
You're right.
I'm talking about religious people.
Yeah.
Bunch of rams. Sheep. Thank God.
Amen.
Do you know that the only thing that you can train a sheep to do, there's not but one thing. You can't train a sheep to do nothing except hear the voice of the shepherd.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
He says, the sheep said, that's the only thing. When they're called out, the sheep knows the master's voice.
Amen.
A ram will go to butting you. A ram will go to knocking you down and putting you down. I'm talking about, son, hey, listen, when you got sheep in the house of God and you don't have no rams, listen, you're here today to do one thing, and that's to hear the Master's voice, the Word of God, so that you can get instruction to do what you need to do. Now watch this. He says, verse 14, thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female burden among you or among your cattle. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee.
Amen.
And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thy hand shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods. For that will be a snare unto thee. So the conditions is that He is going to be loyal unto us. He has given us a covenant. He has given us commandments, and we are to follow those. If we keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments and do them, and we do not serve any other gods, then thank God He said and He promised that He will bless us. He will multiply us. Hey, today He'll give us the fruit. He'll give us the wine. He'll give us the joy. That's what He's speaking of the oil. Hey, you know what Riverside Baptist Church is doing today? Because we're following the judgments and the commandments of God. Hey, I feel a preaching coming on right here. God will bless us. God will multiply us. Hey, He'll give the joys from heaven. He'll give us and flow us out blessings that we cannot even contain the fullness thereof. Thank God. We ought to all stand up and shout it out and praise Him for what He's doing, not what we're doing. The loyalty comes from Him, and now we can be loyal to Him, and God will do a work.
Amen.
Now watch this. Just a couple places I want to turn to. There's one verse that I thought that Brother Henry was going to get to. I'm not going to preach on it because he's going to teach on it next week. But that is in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Listen to what it says. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of Him who have called you out of darkness into a marvelous light. God has called you out from darkness. You are now in a light of the glory and of the praise. God has called you, chose you. You are a royal priesthood. Hey, don't look so down. Don't look like you got the mullet grubs. Don't look like you're signed up. You've been eating sour bars. Hey, today, don't look like you're eating persimmons. I'm glad, thank God, we can smile. Why? You know who you are. You are a chosen people. You are a royal priesthood. Amen. You got royalty in your veins. You are ambassadors.
Amen.
You are representing the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
Amen.
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 Yes. Amen.
Thank you, Jesus.
Man, God did that for me. You know what He did? He opened the can and let me see what was in there.
That's right.
You say, preacher, what are you talking about? Opening the can. I already knew it because this Bible said it. But I had the opportunity to go to Israel twice. And when I went to Israel, the place I wanted to go to most of all was the empty tomb. Because He promised me that He opened the can.
Yep, that's right.
Amen.
You know what He done? Sergeant Petrie took that ranger patch because He entrusted us.
Amen.
And He put it in our hand. And we looked at it. Now just to look at it, it's just, I mean, you can go to the Army surplus store and buy a ranger patch. What deal is that? What? No. It was the story behind it.
Amen.
Amen.
That Him standing so proud. And one of the greatest achievements in the military service as being a ranger. And you could choose anybody to put that. They would just come up there, they would present it, they would put it on the uniform. And He chose His mother.
Amen.
He chose His mother. Out of all the people, He didn't choose His father. He didn't choose His instructor. He didn't even choose the general of the United States Army or the president of the United States.
Yeah.
He chose the one that was loyal to Him.
Yes.
Amen.
Woo!
You're right.
His mother,
Praise
the
God.
one that rocked him in a cradle, the one that changed his diapers, the one that put a baby bottle to his mouth, the one that reared him and raised him and taught him about the things of this world. It was him.
Yes.
Her.
Amen.
Amen.
You know what Jesus did? Wow, I don't know if you're getting anything out of this. That's it. It's loyalty. God said, I will bless you beyond comprehension if you just follow these commandments. You know what Israel did? They didn't follow the commandments. That's all they had to do. And they did not follow the commandments. And so God turned from them and says, I'm going to find me a people that will be loyal to me so that I can bless them.
Yes.
Amen.
And you know what He did?
Amen.
He sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to show the loyalty of all loyalties, and came down here and walked among men, and that Israel put Him to a cross and killed Him on a cross, but He rose the third day victorious on the death of the grave for a church, for you. He came to where you were. Amen.
Amen.
And said, here you are. I'm pinning something on you that I am proud of. And you know what He pinned on you? A patch that says Royal Priesthood. God gives us a song. I'm glad today that we are His chosen. He's been loyal to us. If we'll just be loyal to Him, this church, if this church is loyal to Him, I guarantee you, God will be loyal to you.
Amen.
And that He'll multiply this church, the fruits of the vines. I'm talking about all the goodness of God.
Yep.
There's not a thing in this world that you will have to worry about. Why? He said He'll fight your battles. He'll put your enemies down. He'll make a mockery out of them.
Yes.
He'll do it to their face. We don't. All we got to do is just shout it out, run around, hoop and holler, enjoy the blessings of God. Let's stand our feet.
Amen.
Let's obey Him. These altars open. Listen, if you need to come, you come. The Lord saved you. You ought to thank Him. If you're here and you're lost, won't you come get saved before it's everlasting too late? Come.